Hey guys, it's Shelby and Michelle with FHL Designs, and we are on site for our Park Place project, which is in Rockwall, Texas. It's in progress, coming along so swiftly. What are we doing today?
We are meeting with the tile guy and the builder so that we can really make sure that we have executed these designs properly.
Because we have learned that we have a lot of detail preferences, and so this builder likes to make sure all of that is clear, because mom will pop in last minute and be like, wait, yes, I'm going to show you a few things where she has definitely done that. So we're excited. I think you're going to get a lot of good ideas and inspiration.
Come on in.
The bath floor and the Jack and Jill.
So the Jack and Jill floor we are grabbing from Floor & Decor.
We're getting from Floor & Decor.
Yes, and the reason that we're getting that from Floor & Decor is because the price was just a little high at the other store. So this also,
This goes away.
yeah, that goes away. And the laundry room, we are getting from the tile shop.
And it should be ready.
And it's ready. And this, though, Mike, is the mosaic.
Yeah.
Well, he
So
wrote up left, and then he wrote the same thing on here. So he had them both.
these items go together.
Okay.
When you're a builder and you pick up tile, you don't have to work out.
How do you want this laid? Vertical?
Okay,
No.
Horizontal?
I'll show
No.
you.
Okay.
Not vertical, not horizontal, not herringbone.
so
Oh, this is going to,
It's going to go like this,
and then when you have
and then you're going to go like this.
once you have the same height.
Yes, but if you, I think one.
One. Uno.
So do we put, we'll have to measure it out. Do you want this like right in the middle of the wall?
No, this is going up and down,
Okay, so this is
and this
vertical.
is going
So we're going
horizontal.
vertical.
Yes,
The
this
one is
vertical.
horizontal, the
Roll
many
vertical.
are vertical.
Okay,
I have a picture of a wide view of that too.
that's good if you do.
I can,
Get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Okay, and if I can bring a couple pieces of this with me. All right, and we go upstairs.
And on all these, I had ordered bullnose, but there is no bullnose, I guess, so.
No, I
you have to
didn't
tell me
order.
what kind of metal,
I'm gonna have to do
'cause I need what
just
color.
a just a
Gold Schluter.
Schluter. That's what about gold?
I just said gold Schluter.
Gold Schluter.
Okay.
Can you?
Square, rounded,
Square.
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 Is that okay?
Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Stacked or brick or what? Straight?
okay, I want to make a note. I made up these doors. So I did a little Photoshop hacking, and they asked us what kind of barn doors. Mike wasn't sure they could do it, but we did tell the trim carpenter, and he did accomplish it. And it's like the bevel that really makes the,
Yeah. So he really went above and beyond. The trim carpenter did a great job.
yeah.
Can you pull one of the brown tiles and the leaf? He loves us.
This trim around this door, there's actually an open one here. It's probably my favorite thing in this whole house. It's stain grade, it's beautiful, it makes such a moment. But I think if you did it all over the house, it might be too much, but this, so good.
So we went and did a walkthrough during construction, and we suggest that you do that in your new build, and you can find opportunities to create moments like this. It wasn't in the original plan, but look at how great it turned out.
This is going horizontal, right?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking because I thought that's what was happening, but I don't know.
It's
I
going-
just stood it in there.
It's
yeah.
going vertical or horizontal?
Horizontal.
Is horizontal this way
Yeah.
or
Yes.
this?
Yeah, horizontal, like the horizon.
Oh my goodness, that's a great way to remember that. I was today years old when I learned that horizontal mirrored the horizon.
Mom, they're the root of the same word.
It's the etymology.
Stacked in here or brick?
Mike, now tell us the truth. Is this the coolest house you've ever designed or built because of us?
One of them.
See?
I have two options in here. I'm waiting on the price from the second.
Oh, this
First
looks
company,
pretty.
Nestor Stone, said our stone is not going to go good with your white. It's going to be too dark. You're not going to like it. So
What's wrong with this?
they have this at Floor and Decor.
I love that.
pretty.
Bigger pieces, but it'll have a few more seams than what I had intended to have. But
That's okay.
we
Like,
can
this
actually
is
make it.
so pretty.
It's probably going to be cheaper.
We like to say more cost effective in our videos, Mike. We don't like to use the word cheap.
No.
Okay, well, make it cost effective. We like, what's value engineering?
Value engineering.
Value engineering. Okay, so that's why we come on site. There are so many details, so many things to hash out, and tile is one of the most expensive materials, so we wanted to make sure that it was clearly communicated, everyone was on the same page, and also excited, and the builder seems to be excited about our ideas.
He's so excited. No, he really is. He's doing a great job, and we're so excited to have him on the team, and then Manuel, and it can totally change the look of a room if you are laying the tile in a certain direction or in a certain pattern.
Yes, so we are renovating this house, or it's really a new build, but giving it all the final touches, but we're also giving our content a revamp. So I hope that you're enjoying all the freshness of the building and the content. So let us know how you're loving it, guys. We're excited to share today's sponsor, Skillshare. So I hope you can tell we are trying to up-level our YouTube channel as a whole. And so I'm excited to share Skillshare's class, YouTube Success, Script, Shoot, and Edit. I am in the middle of it, and hopefully my whole team appreciates me learning how to do these things. I also love their class on productivity using Notion. And if you really want to dive into AI, they have tons of classes on that. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and more. Skillshare can help you take your career, skills, and hobbies and even side hustles to the next level. So the first 500 people who use the link in the description get a free month of Skillshare. So get started today, guys. So my goal really was to give you guys a behind the scenes of this project that is truly at the very end of being built. I mean, we are so close to sharing a full home tour with you guys. So you get the end of this home, and I would love to know your feedback. How do you like this content? What would you like to see of our design process? But next in this video, we're going to give you the beginning of a project. So our friend Stephanie is building a new home, and she's asked us to help her find the perfect inspiration. It's a little bit more of a podcast style, so I can't wait to hear what you guys think about that.
Your house looks great.
Thank you. I got up at 6:30 and cleaned it.
I was still sleeping then.
Okay, we have the Blooming Ivy Lane, and if you don't know Stephanie, you're a big deal.
Oh gosh.
You totally exploded on Instagram. We're not surprised. Every day, I feel like a new area of your home goes viral, but it's actually your old home. Mm-hmm. So tell them a little bit about what happened.
I still don't know. No, I'm just kidding. So we lived in our house for 2 years, and basically we were building a house or designing a house for another lady. And while we were designing her house, she just kind of kept hinting that maybe she didn't want to actually build a house. She'd rather just buy one that was already built.
Yeah.
And so even that eventually evolved into her asking to just buy our house. So now we're designing a new house.
Yes.
It's exciting.
Yep.
But what I love about you is that you are not boxed in by style. So do you have like a name for your style?
No, and people ask that all the time. It's one of the most common questions I get on my page is like, what do you call this style? What do you call this style? And I'm like, I don't know. I just jumble a bunch of words together because I'm like, it's whatever I love is what my style is. If I see something and I like it, I work it in.
Yes, you have a collected style.
Yeah.
You have a little bit traditional, but with modern flares
A
sometimes.
little bit less. Yeah. A little. The word modern kind of scares me. 'Cause
I would say modern meaning up to date.
yes, current.
Current.
Yes.
That's the word.
Current.
Well, traditional is trending right now, which is funny because like you see like Jean Stouffer and all these gals pulling it together. Even Studio McGee has gone more
Yep.
traditional.
I would say if I could pick a word, I like collected, curated, but I think just a timeless is where I would like to be in that. My goal for my house is that for people to walk in and be like, when was this house built? And I've said that before.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
when is this house 100 years old? Is it 1 year old? And then the style in it to match that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because we've toured 2 of your homes and they are different but still encompass that thing. So I know that people are going to want to know what's going to be different in the new home, and we're going to work on that today.
Okay.
So
I'm pretty amazed though that you called, because you are the type of designer who does it in your head and then you just are able to execute. There are not a lot of people. I would say you're like the queen of all that. I'm a little bit beneath you because
oh gosh.
I would say like you do it so naturally. It comes to you so naturally, and so for you to call us is pretty amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I called because I have designed this kitchen and I'm trying to come up with what I want for my like oven hood situation.
Yeah.
And I can't find anything exactly
Yes. So
what I'm wanting
you're either
to
Stephanie
show.
and you have this creativity that's off the charts and you're amazing at design and style. Or then there's kind of a middle of the road person, which maybe I'm that person where I do have it in my brain, but sometimes the execution is difficult for me. And then there's someone maybe who really loves style and loves a well-designed home, but you really don't know where to start. And so whatever category you're in today, wherever you find yourself, we're going to help you, right?
Yes.
We hope so.
We hope so. So what I'm going to do is I have found a little bit of a knack for AI design. This is a hair controversial because not everyone, some people like Mom believe that AI is
It's
Satan.
a devil. It's a devil, okay?
But it has given us really beautiful images. So I have created mini home tours, things like that. So last week I shared our coastal farmhouse home tour. And so I got a call from Stephanie pretty quickly after I published it that she wanted to see some ideas that are in her head generated. I cannot guarantee that I'm going to get exactly
Sure.
what's in her head, but it is a launching point, and it is a cool thing to show how many times you kind of have to revise and play with words. But it's easier to play with words, like writing a prompt, than trying to describe it to a contractor that might not get it. Thankfully, your contractor is your husband, but he is going to have to deliver it to a cabinet guy or a...
Yeah, well.
or you're going to have to...
That's where for us, I just like walk the house with them and say, this is what's in my head.
Yeah.
Yes.
And luckily, most of our contractors have worked with us long enough to like
Understand
be like,
you.
okay.
Get it.
They probably like have to like, we're going into a meeting with Stephanie today. We need to mentally prepare for it. But they all are so great and they get me by now. And so I can say, well, blah, blah, and they're like, well, and then it works well. And I always love the end product. But that has taken a long time because my mind just does not.
Yeah.
So it will be nice to be able to be like, this is what I want.
And you're going to show us how to use this for good and not evil.
This is for good, not evil.
All right, let's do it.
I can't think of how I could harness this power for evil with design, interior design rooms. Like, hopefully, okay. So I am using a software called Midjourney. It's kind of confusing because you have to go to Discord to use Midjourney. And I do think you have to have a membership now. It used to be you didn't need a membership, but I do have full instructions on the blog. So if you wanted to dig into that, nerd out. If you don't, if that scares you, I would love to know in the comments what you want to see, and I can generate images. I think that could be a cool thing to include in future videos. So I want to see, what are you going for? Okay.
So the wall that the stove and everything is on, there is an entry to the right with a mudroom, and an entry to the left is the pantry. When you're looking at it, there will be walls on either side, and then a flush transom on both sides. So the what I'm needing to figure out is inside that nook, do I make it's 12 feet too, it's big.
Okay.
So do I make the whole thing a big nook, or do I just have the walls on the end and do a freestanding, then a hood with like the shelf like I had in the last house? That's what I'm trying to figure all that out with the transoms flush there. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I mean, in my mind, I'll have to see
I'm trying to
the
pull up my
plan.
plans. Yeah,
but I am really loving more of a European wide open situation. But I mean, that's just my best guess. I'd need to probably see both images.
But what do you feel like is your style similar to your old kitchen?
Yeah. So I'm still going European. While that's downloading, let me pull up a couple of my inspo pics.
Can you just send them to Shelby?
Okay, so look at this one right here. I'm loving this, but see how there's nothing flush here. So if this comes out flush, it eliminates, like, how do you dead end, so do we do something big like this? This is my inspo picture. Like, I love this island where the back side of it is cabinets and stuff, and then this side is like a workstation. I don't love the style.
No.
I love the layout though. I'm considering the island and then like my pretty one at the end, like between the rooms kind of.
Piece of furniture.
I want to insert a pro tip right here. She is looking at inspiration photos without being like, no, this is not exactly it. She's taking bits and pieces, and then like here, she's not saying nope because the vent hood. She's saying, actually, this layout really makes sense. So Mom's really funny. She'll show me an inspiration photo and she'll say, like this, but not at all.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's good to stretch your creativity and get your kind of ideas out there.
Right. So you can isolate an element. You can say, listen, this is the overall feel. I like this island. And so we would take that island out and we would pop that into the
You can get a vibe though, right?
inspiration. Yep.
So that's the other thing. I could do wider walls and make this smaller, or I can just keep the walls and do like a mantle all the way across.
Let me ask you this. How tall are the ceilings?
11 feet.
Okay. Have you thought about using a beam to...
Yeah, there's a couple in here that have that,
to accent that nook?
I just don't know if I want it to be that rustic
Right.
forever. You know what I mean? I want that's the thing that I like to do too, is like the base of my house be where I could change it at some point. So, okay, so this one has a transom. It's just set back a little bit. So that's another option, is to have the wall flush, but pull the trim out and create like a column situation.
I think I like that. Is that really important to you, that you have a little shelf and ledge?
I just don't want it all cabinetry and nothing.
She loves
I
tchotchkes.
like the little, that's what I feel like brings warmth and like character in, is in that.
Really, you just need to combine these two, right?
Yes.
You tell me.
I mean, I think.
But I think it looks okay with the transoms there, right?
I
think it
do.
looks great.
I think it looks great.
We don't need an exact, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get.
But this process is helping you, right?
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
so just having those side by side, saying you really want both of these elements and you'd like to merge them and you want this overarching feel.
Well, and I would say too, yes, this is super important, but I feel like even people like us that do this all the time, another set of eyes on something when you've just been drowning in it and your mind is like, I'm stuck here. It's so much fun to me to sit and like pick brains and get input. And then, even, I don't know. I just feel like it's helpful.
We phone a
Just even
friend.
those, yes.
You
even
phone
those of
us,
us
we
that
phone
need
you.
to do this. And like, I feel like I'm a very creative person and I love coming up with ideas, but sometimes you have to like call in reinforcement.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm trying now. It's my prompt. A wide view of a European-style kitchen with creamy white cabinets, stove and range hood on 12-foot wall, trimmed out in millwork in a vintage style, backsplash marble, shelf in nook. I said shelf. I should say shelf above range.
In marble.
Range with. Well, I said marble
Yeah,
backsplash. I'm just gonna see. Yeah. And then I said on each side of wall have doors with transoms above.
Do, do,
your head
do,
high.
do, 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 do.
This is wild to me.
Yeah, you get like 18 stupid versions
Oh.
before.
Oh, that's Jesus.
Well, it's not what it says it is, but it could be. It looks biblical.
Oh, it's still thinking.
It's still thinking.
Okay.
We gotta
I
wait.
was like, is
It's-
that what it gave?
That's the weird thing. AI has many people involved in creating things that are coming up in your feed that you never know what you're going to see.
That's the old one.
No, it's doing it again. So we're gonna have to really. Okay. No cabinets but range hood is what we're gonna. So
No, don't call it a range hood. I think that's what the problem is because you're getting a range hood.
I mean,
So
what
I
should
think you call it
A nook
surround.
with stove. Yeah, no hood.
No hood, a surround.
I'm gonna find an image and ask it to tell it, because you guys and your confidence.
Like
Honestly,
that? Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
This would take me hours just to do
It
that.
can take hours.
No, just to put that picture. Like, wait, you can just drag a picture from Pinterest to your desktop?
the funny thing is,
I go to like download, save image, store it here, do all that. I didn't know you could do that.
the funny thing is, people really do. They think that, like, a couple of my AI designs have gone pretty viral,
Yeah.
and people think it's so easy. There is clearly
Yeah.
a lot
Skill.
of. I wasn't going to use the word skill, but I was going to use it. It does get time consuming. It's focusing really.
On the island.
Let's just see when I click imagine all. But let me choose another. It's totally a guessing game. Yeah, that's it. That'll help. If it doesn't do this, we're gonna just quit AI.
By the way,
Canceled.
by the way, I love that color too.
Would you ever do dark like that?
Would you do that?
Maybe.
It would make it really stand out.
Take a risk?
It's going to depend on what I do in the mudroom and the pantry.
Mm-hmm.
So behind the range, that you go in the pantry and it turns behind the range and it will come out into the mudroom at the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I do mudroom and pantry, kind of needs to flow.
Would you ever use that brown marble?
What do you mean?
Like the brown and
The
gray
backsplash.
I
backsplash?
don't know, maybe. I'm thinking I'm gonna do some sort of terracotta flooring in the mudroom and pantry.
Who are you?
I know.
Are you shocked?
I'm
We'll see.
shocked.
I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know.
I know, you said that last time.
I know.
I wanted it in the last house, but I couldn't find it. It's too hard to find.
Well, how are you gonna find it?
If you don't buy just the big square, and that I don't want that. It'll be
It's just not giving you. It's not giving you what you want.
I don't know I don't know what to call that.
Okay, well, we have choices. We can keep playing, or I think your inspiration photos, you could genuinely, this would be where I would get a rendering artist involved. Because no, the reason, look, because you want
Yes.
this with this.
Could you say something like full wall?
She did.
No, tell me
She
what you
said
would
12-foot
say.
wall.
I did say 12.
Well, but where the thing is the full wall. The full wall.
Encased. You could say full wall encased with opening, European.
I'm just gonna type exactly what Mom said.
Okay, go ahead. Encased, full wall,
European style.
stove alcove. With warm marble backsplash with ledge
Above range.
and a kitten on the floor.
And a cherry on top.
I'm just gonna click enter. I was gonna add some stuff. I'm just gonna let this. If
What
it
if
gives
it
us
comes
exactly. No, but I do. Can I make you a rendering?
I think we need to
Yeah,
do
you
the
can
rendering
make a
stuff
rendering.
because here is the
I
truth,
just-
y'all. We're
Yeah.
going to share a little bit more about this, but there are times when really it's so particular and unique
Uh-huh.
that you really need to have someone help you to draw it up.
Yeah.
And so between Stephanie's Pinterest board, Shelby's rendering skills,
Oh, wow.
I think we're going to get it done.
Are we?
Look at this kitty.
On the counter.
On the counter.
I said the
next to
floor.
stove.
There's some on the. It put the cat in assorted places.
I love though that it's an orange tabby that matches my marble black
the
splash.
backsplash.
Black
Black
splash.
splash.
Oh my goodness, this is fun. No, you actually have a kitten. What's his name?
Kitty.
You call him Kitty. Okay,
Yeah.
and it's been very
Like,
controversial because Stephanie had a cat box in her laundry room, and people were like, "This, what is it? The
I was poisoning
ammonia,
him.
like you're poisoning." But there was actually an automated fan that would come on whenever the kitten would enter. It would come on. The automated fan would come on, and so Stephanie
It was a motion.
motion,
Automated.
yes.
Motion.
Stephanie actually had to answer these questions.
Uh-huh.
Y'all don't
Oh,
worry.
people were messaging me telling me I was killing my cat and I was a horrible cat owner for having their box enclosed. And I was like, first of all, there's an opening to get in there. So some's coming out. But we had put a motion sensor on like a bathroom
Fan.
fart fan.
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Exhaust fan?
Yes.
Exhaust fan.
And so when the fan was in there, when he would come in, it would sense him and turn on and just
Yes.
do what it needed to do. It's not like he hung out in there.
And my bigger issue is you overfeed the cat. I mean, if we're going to be honest, he's kind of chubby.
Excuse me. He is on a diet and he has lost 1 pound.
Well, I'm proud. Okay.
Yes, he was 18 pounds. He is currently 17 pounds.
Oh my God.
He hates my guts because he's on a diet and he sits by his food bowl and watches it all day, every day. Because it's an automatic feeder, so it drops throughout the day. And he just stares at it. It's so sad. He's starving.
Sad. Oh,
Okay,
goodness.
I think this is a good interjection to say, are you a cat person or a dog person? Or
Hey, don't knock it till you try it with the cats because I was full anti-cat until
then-
we got one. And now
then
I'm like, get
And
rid of all the
then
dogs.
you made it look so enticing that I got a cat named Steve, but it didn't work out for me because Steve was not happy here. And
He
Steve,
would have been. You had too many other dogs.
yeah, Steve didn't. Steve
He was
wasn't happy.
territorial.
But then you convinced me to get a cat, and I can't say I'm a huge fan of it. But my kids do love the cat, and so now I'm stuck with it.
Yeah.
She's a part of the family. And
I think for me, you're in the thick of the kid thing, though.
It's harder.
It's harder when
Right.
your kids are gone to college and you're just sitting in your chair watching a show, petting your cat. It's great.
Okay.
It's my bestie.
Okay, I want to do some other rooms. Let's do. I want you to give me a description of how you feel like you want your living room to look.
Oh,
Here.
wow. I could
So let
not
me
love
tell
that
you,
more.
when I search, I'm like fireplace inside of fireplace. It's like, well,
Yeah. What do you mean?
it's in my head. That's all that matters. I'm just kidding. She's like, wait, what? No,
Can you-
it is a fireplace inside of a fireplace.
It's true.
It's not going to tell us.
I love that.
Those are pretty though.
Those are beautiful. Yeah, I think a version of
So the firebox, because we use a product called Fire
This
Rock.
kind of looks like a fireplace inside of a fireplace. I mean, I know this is really
This
mundane.
is just,
a surround.
it needs to have the space on the sides. That's what we're going for. And a little bit, mine won't be as deep because we only have like 2.5 feet of, because then it's coming into the room, you know? So we're going to build the Fire Rock, you know, when you do like an insert firebox, the box is this big and then they put all the stuff around it. So we use something called Fire Rock fireplace, and they actually build the whole thing all the way up. So it's a
Yes.
true
Fireplace.
fireplace chimney. You have more options on size and height. I want it to be taller and wide, you know, like just bigger.
I'm
And
gonna need your
so-
help with that on a project we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think what the plan is, instead of doing the wood burning stove in there, we can build the firebox, and you can build it in that shape, the size of the opening.
Yes.
And then I will just wrap that with stone.
I see.
So it will just be like, you know, this wide or whatever. And then the other part of it, which will be a huge opening that sits inside of, will have the mantle and everything on it. And then you can stack like wood on the sides of it
Yes.
or whatever. And it
I
will
love
be,
that.
But there's no pictures of it without a wood burning stove in there. Everything's
Yes.
a wood burning stove. So we're going to have to
Right.
make it
Make
up.
it.
You can do it.
Your face, I said it's in my head.
Yes, I get it.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
No,
like,
I totally
get
understand.
these ideas. Like I see something and then I put it in my head, and getting it out of my mouth is very hard.
Can you give me one example of something that was like that in your previous house? That just where it was lived in your head but not.
Until you explained it to your contractor and he executed it.
Not really. I mean, the plate walls.
Yes.
That was a big one, but Josh just knew. I knew in my head what I wanted, but like how it would work, because those walls on the windows were really small. So I was thinking it's going to come out to here, and then there's this little, and he just did it. And
So
it
that's
worked
the
fine.
good part of working with contractors consistently.
Consistently.
You have a relationship with Josh. Now I have a relationship with Josh. He's the best because he
so
does
great.
this so much, and he has so much creativity, and just he's a woodworker, right? And he knows naturally
Trim
how
carpenter.
to a true carpenter.
Trim carpenter.
He's more than a trim carpenter. He's more than a trim carpenter. Josh, if you're watching this, I am so amazed at the way you can just think of
Yeah.
something and execute it.
Yeah. And I trust him. Like I can tell him what I'm envisioning and then leave, and he just knows what to do.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's nice, because I don't feel like I have to like
Babysit.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
He just does.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's great. That was really the only spot, because we didn't do everything in that house was pretty like cut and dry. You
Right.
know, like, yeah, it was the double fireplace, but there was no like
So do you feel like you have, because you did that house and you got to think about so many other opportunities, now that's where you're like stretching yourself and like your ideas are more complex?
Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing that I do to myself. I put pressure on myself to have something in each room that is like, oh, wow, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And so when I'm doing a room, I'm like, this feels just basic to me. Like I need to come up with a way to make this.
You know, that's
Something great.
interesting because that's always been my philosophy in design. I mean, make something wow in every space. If it's the ceiling or a piece of furniture or a fireplace or a stove alcove, whatever you can do to make people
Just
come
one,
in and
one element
inspired.
to like elevate a space. So like when I was doing all the kids' rooms in the new house, like one of the bedrooms has a vaulted ceiling, one of them has some built-ins, and one of them is solid windows down one whole side of the room. And then you can add in all your stuff, but then there's something in each room that is special about each room that is part of the house,
Right.
not just furniture or whatever.
Right.
You can make very basic rooms amazing, you know, but I just love to have something in each room, just one element that makes it like, oh. And so in the living room, I'm like, I don't just want like a regular fireplace.
No.
I need it to be like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
but then everything else can be very simple. Like I feel like the plans have just a fireplace with built-ins on each side, which is great. But I'm like, I want this fireplace, and then I want to find a armoire to go on one side, and like I just.
Well, the problem is you want it to be unique and timeless, which I would say is probably the most challenging design.
Yeah, it is.
Because
It is.
how can you blow people's socks off when they walk in the room, but also make it never?
Well, I also think to that, one of the things about my like style or whatever is that it's not something people see a lot. It's not a trend. I think it's kind of becoming that way, but it wasn't. And so when you're going through houses and every house has all the same stuff, then you see something that's like so different. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
That's why people were drawn to my house, I think, is that it wasn't what you were seeing everywhere already.
Yeah.
But
And
you're always a
so-
little bit ahead of your time. I mean, a lot of times you'll have, you know, something that you'll do, and then years or 2 or 3 years later, it'll start to show up in design.
I don't know why. I mean, I just gather from what I'm seeing. So
Yeah.
I feel like, but yeah, I mean, it does tend to kind of go that way a little bit.
Yeah.
But I just pay attention a lot. I'm real aware of
She finds
things around me.
inspiration from the funkiest things, like even watching movies. Like
Oh,
Parent Trap
it's very
was
hard
not
for me to
about.
watch a movie.
Yeah. She's looking at
Pause,
the surroundings.
zoom.
We just rewatched. So when I had my surgery a couple weeks ago, so I've been home. So we've just rewatched all of Downton Abbey.
Oh,
Matt and I, every night we're just like, and I'm like, he's watching the show and I'm like, look at that light. Look at that handle.
It's awesome.
You know, so yeah, you just gather from everywhere, but
Yeah.
So we failed. We failed you.
epic fail. No, you didn't fail me at all.
Well,
I feel like even just having the input to like put my mind like, okay, this is the direction.
yeah.
Okay.
This is a good,
Well,
like reassuring,
Yeah.
I guess, or whatever.
I think the biggest lesson of the day is that AI is a great idea generator, but it takes a lot of thought to get that perfect image. But sometimes when you have a lot of images, the best route is to get a 3D rendering. They're not that expensive, and they are so helpful to communicate. But even be confident, because renovating, building, whatever, it's so expensive. So even we have a client right now, they really want their exterior looked so flat in their
You
architect
couldn't
plans.
really see, the doorway wasn't defined. You couldn't see where the entry
Yeah.
was. And so we generated a few different options for them, but they're all very much cohesive, maybe different colorways or whatever. And we're
Yeah.
excited to show that.
Yeah, so now they can make a choice without being like,
Yeah.
oh, we're going to spend all this money and all this time. And I mean, renovation is, or new building is emotional too. So you need
yeah.
like the documents, like looking back, like this will be the result, you know?
Yeah.
So
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm
I
really
am
excited
too.
to see it.
I am too.
All right.
I'm ready.
And okay,
Beyond.
I'm also excited we got to debut your new haircut. This is not just about
Yes.
interior design.
Yeah. The first debut. I don't know. Well, we're still learning how to fix it.
I love it.
And tell them what you said. Without makeup, you look like.
Dora the Explorer. I do feel like short hair, you have to do it, or
Yeah.
you just. I said I either look like Dora the Explorer or an 11-year-old little boy with a butt cut. Like, that's when I don't have makeup and stuff on. It's very awkward.
Yes, but you look very sophisticated
Well,
and
thank you.
high style right now.
Thank
Yeah.
you. You know I love a hat and some braids. So
I know.
This
Oh
is.
yeah,
this
how
is,
can you wear a hat?
Yeah, I can.
11-year-old
I don't know
boy.
that it's the greatest, but I will do it.
Okay, so we came here to talk about AI design, and now we've talked about fart fans and bad haircuts.
Cats.
So yeah,
You get a lot of different.
It's variety.
with them. I would have given you exactly what we planned to give you. But I think that's it. I think you guys need to go follow Stephanie because you're going to keep sharing the behind the scenes.
Yes. So, I mean, right now we're in a rental and things are pretty they're not real exciting going on my Instagram right now. Plus, I had surgery, so I've been down for a couple of weeks. But now, so where we're at with the house, we should have permits by Friday. Hopefully.
Yes.
And then things should pick back up again. We've got some
Yes.
fun things planned. We're just in a waiting period. So,
Yeah.
not a lot going on Blooming Ivy Lane right now, but we'll get there.
Yes, and even if you just went back and looked through old images, you're like, wait, okay, this is how you do timeless, elevated,
Yeah.
and also blow your socks off design.
Fun fact, I will tell you this, when you're saying looking back at the old house, Netflix used our house for a documentary series. It's called Untold. And it was a female soccer player. It's on right now. So go to Untold.
Did they make you sign a contract that you couldn't say your house was in it?
When we couldn't tell anyone when they were filming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked back at mine because ours was in a 2020 documentary.
Uh-huh.
But did they move stuff for you?
Like in the house? Yeah.
Yeah.
They moved furniture and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
decorations.
So was.
But everything was
is
back
it-
when
is
I
it-
got home. That was
Is
fine.
it a good?
I haven't watched it.
Oh,
A
okay.
friend just sent it. No, a friend just sent it last night and was like,
This is your house.
"Your house is on Netflix." So,
Awesome.
are we allowed to say it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, now that the contract, that doesn't matter now, right?
I don't
I don't
think
know.
so.
Okay.
We will advise.
We'll
with
find
it.
out.
All right.
Anyway,
Okay, well, thank you
All right.
guys for watching.
All right, friends, like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and come along for the design journey. We have some more exciting things to share.
Yes, and I'm going to pop up in the corner.
oh, I looked. I was like, what?
It's morning. There's only coffee involved here.
Stephanie's home tour is going to be on the screen. She's drinking Diet Coke.
Like, huh.
Okay,
What's out
that's
there?
all. I think that's it. That's a good close.
Bye.
That was so good. I'm going to make sure it pops up right when you
Yeah,
look.